a connection with the audience, and they got to do something here. So I don't think we're going to see the same old at the top. I think they're going to change things up a bit, and that's where I'm hoping they do anyway. But what about for you, Matt? Do you see Roman going back on top soon as, or is that ship sailed at the moment?
Not as soon as that, but I think he will be back on top. But I think you also got to take into account that right now, from the memorable sort of past, Roman is at an all-time approval rating high. You know, people are buying into him more than they probably have done. I mean, I know we're still fresh off of the whole sort of like incident that he had and the problems that he's overcome, and that's incredible. But I think the fans are still sort of on his side through that. They're still with him for the journey, and sort of appreciative that we still have Roman when we might not have. So it's great to see that they're still like into that, and he doesn't deserve a lot of the boos. You know, there's a lot of other worse workers out there, and you know, when you think about it, people like Corbin are on top, and like you're moaning about Corbin and stuff, but he's another guy that just because he's not the one getting the title, he's not sort of criticised as much as Roman, because Roman eventually does win the title.
Yeah, I feel with Roman, slow burner is the way to go. I mean, just keep him. That's what I said earlier about him with the Undertaker. You know, if they did more with him at SummerSlam, like another tag match or something, it'd be good. But they won't, which is unfortunate. But like, keep him down there for a while, because it's the moment when WWE position themselves. If they get to Royal Rumble and they start to position Roman in that spot, that's where it'll go wrong again. Don't do things like that. Don't do the predictable things. Just keep it slow burner, and then have him go to the top. Not the Royal Rumble, because we've seen that now. And that event is Roman Reigns' like worst place ever. Like RR is not for Roman Reigns. It's Royal Rumble is a nightmare for him. It's like the place where everyone starts to have flashbacks. So don't do anything stupid there. Don't even have him in the Rumble match, because it just brings people back memories like Daniel Bryan. Every time you see him go out there, just don't do it. And keep him well away from that, but have him, don't position him, line him up for, you know, the WrestleManias just yet. I would say go through this whole year as a slow burner, and then when the time is right, and hopefully by then, because he stayed down for so long, you have him going against the guy. And I don't think it should be Brock Lesnar now. I think we've seen that so many damn times. I'm sick to death of that. I think it's got to be someone else. I'm just a little bit cheesed off that they went back with Seth Rollins again so soon. I just feel like it's a match it would have been nice to see somebody else, but you know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't think Roman's going to win it by Survivor Series. I think they're gonna keep him down a bit longer, hopefully anyway. But we'll see. But maybe Heyman, you know, might have some more influence here, Matt, and know what's best to do with Roman Reigns here. But it depends how much license he's going to have.
Apparently, Roman's a SmackDown guy, isn't he?
That's true. So, yeah. You wonder what's going to happen to Shane O'Mac, of course, over with Eric Bischoff. It would be nice if Eric Bischoff just fired him, really, wouldn't it? And say, you're not a wrestler, get out of this, sort of thing. But there you go, that would get him over. So thank you anyway, Jimbo, for that. Time for a couple of more questions. Stay lucky now. Right, hi to you both. As always, I was a bit moody last time I came on. Would like to apologise for that. Don't worry, stay lucky, we're okay. I say AEW won overall on this weekend. Just my opinion. I really liked the look of AEW. It reminded me of the first Nitro when they did it in a shopping mall. What about the look for you? Yeah, so we didn't talk about it actually. Yeah, it was quite a unique look, because they had like more on one side than the other. But do you know what? I know people were sort of like mocking it and everything else, but again, it was for an event. It weren't like a proper pay-per-view. But I thought it stood out. I mean, I'll remember that a lot more than any WWE pay-per-view of late, because they all look the same to me. So actually, I thought it stood out. I think if anything, it sort of enhanced it a bit, because it had a very unique look to it, and I actually quite liked it. What about for you, Matt? Did it throw you off at all? Because I know some people were saying it's a little bit odd to look at, like to view, but I didn't really have a problem with it.
No, really enjoyed it, and I thought it made a lot of sense. If I was there in person, I would have really enjoyed that because it all seemed tiered correctly, and everyone had a great view by the looks of it. So, yeah, I feel like it was good for the fans and good for a visual aesthetic.
Yes, good word there.
I enjoyed it.
Matt coming out with sharp words now. He's going on dictionary before he comes on this podcast. I know. Yeah, very good. I liked the look, and hopefully, as they go forward at All Out, we'll get something cool there as well. So, we'll see. Okay, last question now. This is from Parlo. So where you're from, Parlo, you're going to have to let us know. Hi, guys. Amazing podcast. Like it a lot. Would like to know your thoughts. If you say WWE is as bad as you say it is week to week, if you booked it, what sort of things would you do if you had free range? If you know better. So I think he's saying we know better. Let's put it in our call. Well, Parlo, the thing is, there's a lot to it, but first and foremost, I certainly would be taking the steps to have, wins and losses mean something again, a bit like AEW are doing. And, I certainly wouldn't be doing 50-50 booking either. And I would try and make a roster where there is some kind of ladder to each belt and not just a guy coming out each month and saying a few things and that's it. I would like to see ladders back in it again where you've got to climb. And that might take months, that might take even a year to get to these things. But that's what I'd like to see, and I'd like to see a lot more of that happen. In terms of the wrestlers, I think, again, we spoke about it earlier, free range, a little bit more range. They some guys need to be scripted, but not scripted down to the last word. You can do it literally just from, if a guy isn't ready to be interviewed, which is something you used to have to be able to do, but the interview's been lost anyway. I don't see interviews anymore anyway, but they need to be doing them more frequent, and it was a good opportunity to learn the character as you're doing it. You look at those amazing Rock ones he used to do with Jonathan Coachman or Michael Cole. That's where guys got really good doing them like that. So I would be having a lot more of those. I would say less pay-per-views and not a 3-hour Raw show or 2-hour Raw show. That would be my take to it. Any suggestions from you, Matt, if you could have some free range?
Well, it's kind of on the spot, isn't it? I mean, if I was going to be put in Paul Heyman's shoes, I'd want to know a little bit in advance. But, on the spot, you'd think that we should be taking notes from WWE and what they have done in their past, but it's almost like you should take notes from AEW in this generation because they're younger guys, fresh ideas. They know what's working on the independent scene, and that's where the new fans are. They're on the indie scene, so I'll be going along those routes. I'll be giving people, sort of free range on the mic, like you said, and I'll be like, less pay-per-views is a good thing. Also, just because something didn't work in the past, like an all-women's pay-per-view, I wouldn't say that's an altogether cut-off. You shouldn't just do another one because that seems to be the route WWE's taken. They didn't find the success that they wanted there, so they've cut that off. I would definitely still run those because if you're going to have Saudi Arabia shows, then the women shouldn't miss out on a paycheck. If they're going to demand this equality and stuff and say that they're working with the women to provide equality in the workplace, well, they're not really, are they? So, I'd go down those routes and focus more on the women's division because there's a lot of unrest there. There's a lot of people aren't happy. People aren't even showing up for work now. So definitely fix that.
Yeah, what a time to be a wrestler. And just to end up on the podcast, a few bits of news here. Sasha Banks, Matt, apparently she's got a date to come back now. By all accounts. I would assume, Matt, that the two parties are now, sorted something out here, if that's going to happen. Do you think that's the case, Matt? Are they going to, is one bail into the other now, and are they going to try and do what they're doing with everybody else? They're just putting on contracts for everybody. I don't want them to jump at the minute.
Well, it's not so much a case of that. I mean, when you're a wrestler, you got to wrestle. That's your whole purpose in life. And when you're in a contract, she's in a long contract. She can't get out of the contract. Whether she likes it or whether she doesn't like it, she has to wrestle for WWE, because otherwise you're just going to do a Neville and sit on a frozen contract and not really earn any money. So her passion is there, so she wants to wrestle, so that's what she's going to do. And hopefully that by her not going along with whatever they wanted originally, because the tag team belts meant a lot to Sasha and Bayley. It's the whole reason they came about, and it's a bit of a shame that they lost them so soon. And the Bellas even went on their podcast and spoke about the plans that perhaps they might wrestle for them, and then Nikki couldn't, so that whole thing was scrapped, and perhaps that's the reason why it all went pear-shaped. It's just disappointing that WWE still go with sort of what's popular, what's reality TV, rather than what really matters to the fans and what really matters to the wrestlers who pushed for these belts and made it possible. So that's the whole reason probably why it's gone stagnant on the tag team division. But yeah, she's got to come back and wrestle with WWE. So, it'd be great when she does, and hopefully she comes back as a heel, because that's when she does her best work. Yeah,
I would second that as well. And also a little bit of other news that came out. Of course, there was the awards that was on from ESPN the other day, the Sports Awards, and who got in on the act with Triple H and Stephanie? Daniel Cormier. He was there, and he kind of made some headlines, Matt, by saying, you took Brock away from me. I wanted that fight. Maybe I'll have to come to WWE to do it. So a lot of our listeners seem to think that he might be in line for some sort of fix with him and Brock, but in a WWE ring now, Matt. Is that something you could see working?
Yeah, I would be up for that. He definitely knows his wrestling, so he's a fan.
Seth Rollins fan as well.
Works out best. They brought in many a guy who wasn't a wrestling fan just for that kind of name power.
Yeah, it would make it. If anything, that Universal title would be even more legit at the moment. I get the feeling with someone like Daniel Cormier, he's actually really good on the mic because he's doing announcing now. That's how good he is. He's becoming better. I get the feeling even he'll be like head and shoulders above all the WWE guys that should really be doing a better job than the UFC guys, but they're not, because they just don't get the free range that the UFC guys. And I think it's that thing, Matt, now that UFC's become so mainstream, I think for fans, when they watch UFC promos or press conferences, when they see two guys going at it against each other like verbally, they're thinking, hang on, why are the WWE guys talking like this? It's just like they just come out with the same things every time, every week. You did this to me, so I'm going to do that to you. But it just kind of does open up a lot of areas. So that would be fascinating if they did have him come in to do that. Nonetheless, anything you want to add, Matt, before we go home?
No, I think we've spoken for a long time now. I think we covered a lot of topics. I look forward to the next show, of course. And any insight into what that may be about?
What's that, mate?
Like the next show, is there any insight into what we?
I think until we get to around SummerSlam, I think we'll be doing some general shows, and then what we're going to do, of course, you all voted. I should just be saying that now. You all voted on the '99 SummerSlam, so myself and Matt will be doing a go back show to that one. That's 20 years ago, Matt. God dear, how old do I feel now?
I'm totally fine with that one because although I lost, full disclosure,
I was quite surprised that one.
I was 1 year short of what I thought I was talking about, so I'm pretty glad.
Yeah, he's few over there, but I was still surprised it won though. I was surprised the 99 won, but
there's just not enough Zeus fans out there.
No, there isn't. No holds barred. That'll be good. So we'll be doing that week, and of course we'll probably be doing a big week for SummerSlam. I'm sure we'll be doing a lot of stuff around it on the weekend. I'm sure we'll have NXT to talk about as well. And then of course the big preview will be after SummerSlam. I'm sure it should be that kind of show. We'll have our sort of normal review. We'll go back to the norm where we'll start doing the ratings and sort of the whole review of the show. So that'll be coming up. Just also want to mention, whilst we're here, Matt, Progress is going to be taking place in Toronto as well. And